Cloudy fish tank, 7 common reasons and 5 ways to deal with it. Imagine you're in this particular place, actually witnessing the view of the sunset perfectly suited to the formation of clouds. I guess this is the only cloudy scenery you will find aesthetic. But this is not the cloudy scenery you should be proud of. You can't even see a glimpse of your gorgeous fish. But don't worry, we can transform that cloudy into pure crystalline. Just stick with me until the end of this video because we're going to talk about the 7 common reasons for a cloudy fish tank and ways to deal with it. Welcome to the Aquarium Store Depot. As a hobbyist and a fish keeper, one of the most frustrating things you can encounter is when a cloudy appearance starts occurring in your fish tank, especially for freshwater tanks. Unfortunately, this is caused by various reasons that oftentimes are in our own control. To be enlightened, let's dive into the first reason why. Number 1. Having a new tank and cloudy water. These two are always together, especially in the process of cycling a tank or having a newly cycled tank. Placing new livestock in the tank allows new sources of nutrients and waste to take place. But adding too fast can result in an imbalance due to the insane reproduction of beneficial nitrifying bacteria trying to digest massive nutrients, which creates a cloud that results in cloudy water. To prevent this, you should stop adding fish and let the tank settle down. Also, look at the 3 big tank parameters, namely ammonia, nitrite, and nitrate, because the first 2 are your biggest concerns for a new tank. Number 2. Overfeeding fish is not so healthy. Having the urge to feed your fish after they greet you on the surface with their cute little faces often ends with feeding them a lot, throwing your system off balance and causing bacteria to bloom. Although the urge is understandable, it's actually a good thing to have your fish go without food for a day to let their digestive systems settle down, because excess food is problematic and can lead to cloudy aquarium water. So folks, look for an automatic fish feeder as it is easy to overfeed with them. Number 3. Third reason is having too many fish. Overcrowding in the tank causes it to appear cloudy and windy. That's why it's best to avoid adding any more fish until you get it under control. It's also recommended to not increase your fish population by 50%. Instead, spread out your additions over a 4 to 6 week timeline so your tank has time to balance out. You can use the AdAdvisor calculator to get an overview of planning out fish. Number 4. Inadequate filtration must get your attention. Finer particles will bypass coarser foam, but high-end brands like the Biomaster Thermo will have multiple foam densities you can choose from. Just a reminder folks, finer foam works best in heavy populated tanks. Adding a layer of filter to improve your mechanical filtration is a considerable task for a power filter. You can also purchase a bulk of blue foam online, cut it to fit, and put it in a canister filter. Number 5. Wave goodbye to a dead fish or matter. I know it's hard to get rid of your lovely fish, even if they're already gone, but the biggest piece of decaying matter is going to come from a dead fish, which can cause your aquarium water to get cloudy fast. Sometimes it's the dead fry caused by fish breeding, chunks of uneaten fish food, and decaying plant matter. So, check your substrate and get rid of the decaying leaves from the plants. Number 6. The 6th reason could be your glass. The main cause is bacterial biofilm. Biofilm looks the most obvious on aquarium driftwood, but it also grows on your glass. This will stick to your glass and give it a cloudy look if left unchecked. On larger fish tanks, a slight tint will appear, making it look a little darker. If you're aiming for better clarity and better than the traditional glass tanks, low iron rimless aquariums and acrylic tanks are good choices. Number 7. Your substrate can add up to the cloudy appearance. If not rinsed well, new substrates can cause cloudy water. Always make sure you wash your substrate thoroughly before putting it in your aquarium. The other cause can be an existing substrate that is stirred up. Stirring up too much of your substrate at once can cause the release of additional nutrients, which will cause a bacterial bloom or cause discoloration of your aquarium water. Gravel vacuuming is best done when stirring your substrate to get most of the debris that comes out. Those are the 7 reasons for a cloudy tank, but before we get to the 5 ways of dealing with such an issue, make sure that you like this video, hit the subscribe button, and turn on the bell notification for more aquarium related topics on your subscription feed. Diving now onto the 5 ways on dealing with cloudy fish tanks, we have number 1. Proper fish tank maintenance as the number 1 solution. A water change can resolve most of the problems in fish keeping because it can bring balance back into your aquarium. Cloudy water can be a result of a bacterial bloom due to spikes in nutrients. That's why doing a water change will remove these nutrients and get everything back in balance. If it's too serious, you need to do more water changes over time. In extreme cases, 40 to 50% water changes every day or every other day are not uncommon when dealing with a serious nutrient spike that causes a cloudy fish tank. Gravel is your substrate. If you have a fine substrate, surface skim it with a gravel vac to remove top layer of debris. Number 2. Next is by making sure your glass is clean. Both the outside and inside of your glass matter. To get rid of water stains, you can work with a safe cleaner, like white vinegar, or better yet, use a DIYer's secret weapon and voila! It will fix the appearance of the outside tank. Apart from magic erasers, Flipper Cleaner is amazing for cleaning the inside of your tank. It is also a great way to get your kids and other family members involved, as they can clean from the outside without having to put their tanks in the tank. There is also a cool factor with the Flipper Scraper when you move it to the other side of the tank. It will scrape off the toughest algae from your glass and make your glass look spotless. Number 3. Proper filtration maintenance is your 3rd solution. Folks, remember that you should be changing out your filter floss every other week. Make sure you clean all the filter media you can. Make sure you clean them out with your tank water. If you use tap water or RO water, you risk losing those beneficial bacteria colonies in the process. Cleaning out the piping in your power filters and the tubing in your canister filters. If you have mechanical filtration, consider replacing it with a fresh set, but sometimes premium chemical filtration media will operate at their best, keeping your tank water looking crystal clear. Number 4. You should also start cycling your aquarium. This is going to be your first step to combating cloudy water. Reducing feeding and testing your water for ammonia and nitrite levels along with a water change can lessen the excessive nutrients. Another thing to consider with a newer tank is getting used filter media from a disease-free tank. This carries over beneficial bacteria that jumpstarts the cycle. Using beneficial bacteria in a bottle solution like Fritz TurboStart 700 is also an option, but for a longer-term solution, a UV sterilizer is a great addition for not only water clarity purposes, but also for disease migration. Number 5. Lastly, improving quality of light and reducing lighting times will serve as a huge help. No one likes poor light because it impacts the way our eye sees things. In the case of a fish tank, it dulls out and gives the tank a hazy look, which is not pleasing. This is more common with LED lighting as the light is more focused than T5 lights. Because the light is focused, it can lead to a disco effect and shadows can dull out your tank. You can use T5s because they tend to display a clearer tank, given their even spread of light. You can even use T5s because they tend to display a clearer tank given their even spread of light. You can get close to this with LEDs, but only with higher end LEDs, like the ones I mentioned previously. Reducing your lighting time can also help. This will slow down the reproduction of algae, which will keep your glass clear. Although cloudy aquarium water is not necessarily bad for a fish, this scenario is still a representation of imbalance or the presence of a greater problem. That's why either way, it is best if you start taking action right after you notice a cloudy fish tank beginning to appear. As a hobbyist, I believe that you too have already dealt with this some time ago. Don't hesitate to share your experiences down in the comment section and start a conversation with those who encountered it as well. If you find this video interesting, don't hesitate to hit the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel to gain more aquarium related topics for you to be an effective fish keeper. I hope you find the courage to start maintaining your fish tank as healthily as possible. I'll see you around, folks. Thank you for watching.